All right, so I'm with 52 Weeks of .NET. I've been doing a lot of C# coding with CDK, and it's an interesting problem. Should I keep going or not? That's really the the key question. I think I will. I think I'll try a little bit more here to see if I can get a little further with some of the stuff I was working on, because I think CDK is actually pretty interesting. And let's get into this environment here and play around. So CDK does run inside of Cloud9, which I think is not necessarily a common environment for people that are .NET developers. Personally, I think it should be. I think this is really one of the cool things that you can do with the Cloud9 environment, because it's kind of a natural fit. Like if you're already inside of AWS, why not use C#, right? Like why not just stay inside of this particular environment? So what I'm going to do is try to go back to where I failed before. So I've had some success with CDK. Like I had a bucket that I was able to create that actually went pretty well, but I'd like to go a little bit further and do something other than just like a little play toy app. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to CDK2 docs again, and let's just see if we can get something a little bit fancier. CDK2.net and get something a little bit better than AWS. Here we go. So we got Cloud Development Kit, documentation, consolidates it. Let's go into the docs here. Let's go to migrating developer guide. Let's go to developer guide. Okay, so we got this. We know how this works. And let's go to tutorials, how-tos, getting started. So we've already done this one. So this one is actually pretty straightforward. This bucket one it works. I've had no problems with this. Now the one that I did have problems with was, I think, going a little bit further. And if I go to C# here, this is where I ran into some issues. Or did I? Let's see here. If we scroll down, building. Let's see here. So we already did this one. What do they suggest next, actually? Let's see if I can just follow along. So I've gotten this part to work. We got the C# thing created, which was actually pretty cool. And so next step. So try the workshop, dig into deeper concepts, or create constructs created by other people, or explore the examples. Yeah, let's try this one. Okay, let's follow the first one here. Okay, welcome. There we go. .NET workshop, and let's just try the workshop. So we use CDK and init to create a new project. So first thing they want us to do is do this. This looks good. This looks like a good one. Now I am curious: is this version 2 or version 1? Which I wish they told me this. Let's see if they tell me anywhere. How do we know if it's V2 or V1? Because that's what I'm afraid of, which is a little bit of a bummer. They don't tell me if I'm going to use V1 or V2, which is what got me into trouble before. Well, what is that cryptocurrency saying? The future favors the bold. So let's just try it out. Let's close this one, and let's create our new CDK workshop. We're inside of here. And let's make a new C# app. Okay. That worked okay. Newer version is available. This is also a little bit of a question mark for me. I always am like, do I do this or do I not do this? Upgrade recommended. It scares me that that's asking me to do this, but I also like the idea of upgrading. So let's upgrade. And what does it say? It says new minor version available. Remove existing file and try again. So let's do /force. Okay, we updated, and I'll go ahead and run command again. Let's see here. So let's do directory, and let's init, and let's see what happens. Okay, no warnings. That's a good sign. Okay, so what do we got here? We got a CDK JSON file. We got the useful commands. Okay, next up, project structure. So we can look in here. What do we got under CDK workshop? We got some source files here. We have a CS file here. So it's got some SQS stuff. Now, how did it find all that stuff? What did we run? We ran. I guess that's in the sample app. I guess it gives us all this stuff. It gives us like access to queues and got all kinds of things in our program. Is right there. Okay, we got that. We see we have a bunch of stuff. So here's our entry point is this one, the main stack. This is where the media application is. So in this case, queues and topics. This was a sample app. So the stack is going to create an SQS queue and an SNS topic. Okay, so this is meaty, right? This is definitely like not a bucket, right? This is decent stuff. So I'm going to do the synth command next. So let's go ahead and run that. CDK synth, and this should essentially create the CloudFormation template for us. It's definitely doing something. It's thinking. Okay, that's a good sign. It looks like it worked. And then you can see it created all this stuff, CloudFormation template. Now, can I see that template? Let me move this over a little bit. Where would it create that template? I don't see it in here. Or does the synth just print that out? So I think it just prints out the CloudFormation template, which I guess kind of makes sense. Okay, so you can see all the stuff in there. Okay, now we want to do a deploy. So bootstrapping environment. The first time you deploy, you'll need to install a bootstrap stack. This stack includes resources that are needed for the toolkit's operation. And we're going to use CDK Bootstrap to install the Bootstrap stack. Okay, yeah, that sounds interesting. Not 100% sure I understand what this is, but let's run it. Okay, so using default execution policy, creating CloudFormation chain set. So it looks like it's bootstrapping the environment. And now I believe this is then creating remotely the CloudFormation template. It's kind of a bummer that if I go over here, look at this. They have a little CDK section here now, which is pretty cool inside of developer tools. Now I don't know what this does, but that is kind of cool. that it's got this CDK section over here in AWS, and I don't know what that is, but interesting. Well, um, so this is a Bootstrap stack. Oh, I see. The stack includes an S3 bucket that's used to store the template and asset. So it's essentially part of the deploy process. Okay, that makes sense. And now we can deploy the CDK app. Okay, pretty easy. Now, if I am able to programmatically deploy a SNS topic in a queue, I'm definitely impressed, because that's a pretty complex thing to automate. Let's take a look at this. Whoa, look at this. Pretty cool. So if we scroll down here, it looks like it was able to create a message here, and it's going to create a source called CDK workshop topic. Do you wish to deploy these changes? Sure. Let's deploy that. And it's going to create a CloudFormation chain set. So I can go to Amazon. I can go to SQS. SQS. Go to services. Q. Some Q service. There we go. There's my CDK workshop queue. Pretty cool. This is definitely kind of exciting, actually. And so it created this CloudFormation stack, which is now in control of the queue. And then if I look at the code again, which would be this one, we import CDK, we import SNS, and this is the name of the queue, CDK workshop. So it's a pretty basic, not too tricky here. Looks pretty intuitive in what it's trying to do. And it's making 2 of 6 changes. I'm assuming the thing it hasn't done yet is it needs to create a topic. But where's SNS here? I only see SQS. I don't see SNS yet. So we did this. The output should look like this. See, where is this coming from? I don't see the SNS topic yet, unless I don't understand the project structure. Let's see here. So this is the entry point. Oh, it's in CDK workshop stack. Let's find that. So CDK workshop. I need to move this over. Oh, it's this. So this is the stack. So this is the queue, and then the program. Yeah, I'm not seeing where some of this code is being instantiated, but there we go. It deployed. I guess I could look at services here and look at SNS. Let's go back to AWS here. View all services, SNS. So notification service, what's up and running. I guess here we go, workshop. Yeah, I don't know where this is coming from, but it created it. Okay, good. So it created that structure. Let's go back to deploy. I guess I could look at the CloudFormation console. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. And what do we got here? There we go, CDK workshop stack. That's the one I just created. I can take a look at it. And We have events, resources, outputs, parameters. What else we got here? Templates. So we have SQS, policy. So we do have some stuff in here. So we have some SNS things. So these are all of the parameters, or I'm sorry, the templated values that get put inside of here. If you select this, go to resources, you'll see the physical identities of the resources. Okay. Oh, I see. So let's go back there and let's go to resources. I see. So you see all of the different things that were created. Okay, it makes sense. Q. There we go. Status. There we go. Type SNS subscription, SQS, Q policy, SNS topic. Okay, we see that. Okay, I'm ready for some actual coding. All right. So, well, we made some good progress. I got something working. Let's keep going. Lambda, I think, is real coding. So let's build this. We'll build some CDK code. So instead of just an endpoint, we'll add a Lambda function. A user will be able to hit any URL in the endpoint and it'll receive a greeting. So we'll have a gateway, a person will call, do a GET request, and then invoke a Lambda. Let's clean up the sample code. So delete the sample code from your stack. So the project was created using SQSQ and topic. We're not going to use them. So we're going to remove them. So open up this, see, and clean it up. It should look like this. Okay, so I'm going to go to CDK workshop stack. Let's go in here. So I like this. I like deleting codes. So CDK workshop stack, this one. So we're going to go here. There's a lot of code in here, which is all the Q stuff. We're going to delete all that, and we're going to put this in there. So we got just constructs. We got nothing here. Okay, so we did that. Now we're going to do a diff. Okay, I like this. I like where they're going with this. So we're going to see what changed. CDK diff. And to show us that the Q and the SNS topic should all be basically gone. There we go. Destroy. I love this. See, this is where infrastructure as code really comes in handy. Isn't necessarily the creating of things, although it's helpful. It's the nuking of things, right? Because now I don't have weird things deployed. I mean, that's one of my problems actually in my experiments with Amazon, because I do so many demos, is I have lots of dangling things all over the place. But if I did everything with CDK, then I wouldn't have that big of an issue. And here we go. We're nuking that. So that's cool. I like that. So now we go to Lambda. So we'll create a Lambda handler. So we're going to create a directory called Lambda in the root of the project next to source. The root of the project next to source. So, okay, we're going to create it right here next to source. So first, let's let this thing. Well, I guess that thing can be deleted, and I can just make a new terminal, and I can go into CDK workshop. Then we got source and the root of the project next to source. They want it at the root next to the source. So I guess it's at the same, I think what they mean is at the same level of a source. So we'll do make dir lambda, and then we'll touch hello.js. I mean, I'm tempted here to replace this with Python, but I won't. We'll say touch hello.js. Okay, so here, I mean, if I get this working, I might replace it with Python. So we got that. Okay, a few words about copy pasting. We recommend you type the code instead. Yeah, okay, sure, I could see that. Um, add a lambda function to your stack. So using a statement at the beginning and a function to your stack. So we're basically going to put this code in the middle here, which is nice. So our function, so we see it's a runtime as node, hello handler. Okay, so let's go back to this. And I believe we put it inside of let's go here. So we put it inside of, yeah, inside of that spot there, like that. Looks good. So we're basically going to create a node runtime. We're going to tell it where the file lives. It's in that directory lambda, and then we're going to see what the handler is called, right? Because the handler is called exports.handler, hello.handler. Oh, hello, and then dot handler, I guess. Okay, and then we see all this. We can do a diff, CDK diff. Does it blow up? That's always it did blow up. So the runtime does not exist in the current context. Ooh. So what did I do wrong here? The type or namespace functions prop. Are you missing a directive? The name code does not exist. Save your code. So the question is, oh, did I not make a Lambda directory? Look, I didn't put the source in there. That's the problem. So I need to move the hello to Lambda. There you go. Now does it work? Nope. The runtime does not exist. And what do we got here? Close tab. So we got a Lambda there. Now the question is the Lambda here or is it in the source? I don't really know what they mean. I could try to move it. Let's try. Let's say mv Lambda to source. Let's put it again. Was that the problem? Yeah, I don't see. This is a little bit tricky for me. Why does it not? Yeah, why does it not work? CDK ls. Well, I got one thing working today, but let's look at some examples and let's find C#. Let's find a Lambda. And what do? They put it inside a source. That's interesting. Lambda cron source tests. Let's see what else I can find here. Source. I mean, it does look like, see, this is not clear to me. A little bit of a bummer. It doesn't show me like a directory structure in this particular project. The handler code is in the Lambda directory. The path is relative to where you execute, which is the project's root. Well, add a using statement. Oh, did I mess this up maybe? Oh, I didn't add this. That's the issue. Okay, well I'm glad I looked at the code because if I go here, yep, I'm missing that. There we go. Using was missing. And then let's move lambda up again. Move source lambda up. Right. Lambda. Well, not there. I want to move lambda. Move lambda to CDK workshop. There we go. Now go to CDK workshop. I think source lambda. Okay, now if I do CDK diff, does it work? I guess this is when you really want to be careful cutting and pasting code, as they said in the tutorial. I wasn't invoking lambda. Aha. Yes. Victory. This is pretty cool. And now we're ready to deploy. And I'm going to do a deploy. So CDK deploy. I'm feeling good now. I'm feeling like, wow, I might be able to be a C# CDK developer, which is kind of a cool thing to know how to do. All right, looking good. And then how do we test this? Let's assume it works. So to test it, we can just go to, well, there's two ways to test it actually. You can go, you should see the function. Okay, so we can just test this directly and create. Oh, I see. Create new test event. Okay, so we'll test it directly inside of the AWS Lambda console. Now you can test it here. Like if you go here and you go to API gateway and all that stuff. Although this is acting weird, I'm not sure why it's acting weird. You can test it inside of here. Okay, so deployed. Now again, I don't know why this is acting weird. This should just work, but I don't need this. I can just go to services. Let's go to all services here. And let's go to Lambda here. And let's go to last modified 42 seconds ago. It's a Node app right there. And then we're going to test it. And so one of the things that's cool about Lambda is that it does have the concept of templates. And so we can do API gateway. Is it authorizer or proxy? Is it this one? And we can just call this test. Let's see, what do they want us to do? They want us to do, click test. There we go, test. Okay, there we go. So we're going to test this out. We want to do the proxy. So it gives us basically the payload. We can format it and all that stuff. And so there we go. Let's test it out. And success. There we go. Look, hello CDK. Yeah, pretty cool. I have to admit, I'm getting impressed here with CDK. And then we can do CDK to destroy, right? Because we want to nuke all this. Yeah, I'm starting to get convinced that C# CDK is a good thing. All right. Well, I think next week I just keep going. I just keep doing more C# CDK. So thank you everybody that showed up. I'll see you next week. Good tip by the IC guru.